I wanted to go over the editing of one of the three series I did with the three moths, and just kind of go over what I do with a fine art edit. It normally takes hours and hours if you're going to edit for competition, so this will be a little bit quicker, so you don't have to sit here and listen to me for hours. But generally, the first thing I do is I do a crop. So I have it at 24 inches tall, and I'm going to put that line right. I want her face kind of in the upper third. I'm going to make it a little bit squared, so she's right in the middle there. And we have delete crop pixels and content aware fill. Double click on that, and I'm going to warn you, I have a very slow computer because it's very old. I'm running an old version of Photoshop. I don't have a lot of the newer features, so you have to bear with me. Okay, so the content aware didn't fill, which I guess that's part of it. So I'm going to fill on my own. Okay. All right. So then what I'm going to do is I'm going to work on the wrinkles in the background. So I am going to go up here and select subject. Command J, get her on a separate layer. Then I'm also Command J, which is duplicating the background layer. So then I'm going to hit J, which is my patch tool, and I am just going to kind of patch that out. You have to work careful when you're working with patch tool or stamp or clone, because you can get those clone marks, and you don't want to be duplicating any sort of pattern, because that's very noticeable, especially if you're doing it for any kind of judging. Okay, so then what I want to do is I'm going to take the layer of her, and I'm going to Command J, so I'm going to duplicate the extracted layer, and I'm just going to use my patch tool and just kind of blur that line here with her undergarment. Editing can be very time consuming, but I love it. I could spend hours and hours doing it. So you have to have patience. I'm going to work on, I'm on her shoulder, working on those tan lines. It's May here in Minnesota, and these kids already have tan lines. I think it's like June or July before I get tan lines. Get this little one here. And I'll work on the arm here. So sometimes, right now I'm using the patch tool. Sometimes I use clone, and I also have I'm going to use clone at 40%. I also have an action that I made to work on coloring this type of thing, but I'm not going to use that because a lot of you don't have my actions. If you want to get them, over on AnnieMarieCo.com. But I've got a great one that I use for tan lines or any kind of sort of color matches, color tones. I'll make another video on that. Okay. It's a little bit better. I will probably work on that more at another time. Okay, so another thing I want to do on this layer is I want to kind of fix this area here under her armpit. So I think I'm just going to start with the patch, and then I might do some cloning, and I might do some liquify. I don't know. I guess we're going to play and find out what's going to work. Actually, I think we need, I'm going to go backwards. I'm just stepping back. I think we need that one line. That line we need, so we're just going to get rid of this one. Now if you get too close to the edges, it kind of bleeds, so I don't touch the edges. Okay, so now I'm going to get my stamp tool, And I'm going to get a little bit harder of a brush, so I'm going to work up against some of these edges. I don't like hard brushes because it sometimes leaves the hard line on both sides, but we're gonna try it because we need the hard line here and we need the hard line here, and then we can. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to follow the shadow line up the arm. Okay, so once I got that, I'm going to change back to my patch tool, and then this is just going to kind of soften some of those lines. I'm going to get a, oops. I'm going to get my soft brush again, and then I'm going to go here along this line. Back to my I am on stamp, right? Yep, I'm on stamp. I'm just trying to clean up this line here. Go back to stamp tool. Oh, I am on the stamp tool. Sometimes it takes things like, oh, it's such tedious work. There we go. Now I'm going to get back to my clone and just kind of soften that a little bit. And sometimes when you're working really close, it's harder to see, so you have to kind of go out. So for now, I think we're going to leave it like at that. Let's go back and forth. Okay, that works a lot better. All right, so what I'm going to do, we're going to work on the hair. I think we're going to do that in, we're going to, I want to try this. Yeah. We are going to do that in Liquify. So Command Shift X is going to bring me to Liquify. Okay. So what I want to do is cover her ear. And that's going to be probably a combination of Liquify and Clone, because sometimes you can liquefy something so much that you can tell that you've moved the pixels. So I'm not going to care that this flower is going to be squished, because I'm going to mask down to the layer, the layer below it. But I'm just going to kind of bring all this over. Sometimes I put my hand on the screen where that was so I can kind of see that line. I'm going to bring this out. I'm actually going to bring this forward a little bit. Okay, now I noticed this. I want to bring this out a little bit. And I'll fix that later because I know her skin is moving. So don't freak out. This I want to bring in. I want to kind of shape that a little bit more. Bring this down. I want to bring the top of her head up a little bit more, make it more kind of bouffanty. Okay, let's go down here. All right, let's click OK. Okay, so now what I'm going to do, I'm going to go in here and I'm going to put a layer mask, and I'm going to hit the B button for brush and do it at 100% and on black. So I'm going to hit the X so I get the black, and then I am going to paint, oh, I'm on white, paint black. I must have hit it again. There, I need to be on 100. Okay. I think I'll have to do that one manually. I just want that kind of sticking out a little bit, kind of like, not her skin. Okay, that one's going to be a clone job. That's what that's going to be, and that's fine with me. All right, so now let's work on this flower. Bring this flower back. And you can go back and I'm just going to find the edge here, and then I'm going to change the paint with white. Change it. I just use the X button, go back and forth. It's pretty quick. Use as many short keys as you can because it saves so much time rather than going up to the top and changing the color and to the side bars and yeah, okay. So that helped a lot. Okay, so what I'm going to do now, all right, I'm going to go back and liquefy, and you can use this tool here. It's called the freeze tool, and you, if you wanted to, I'm working on another layer so it's not apparent, but I'm going to try to just freeze her elbow because I want to take this down a little bit. I don't want that so poofed up. And then I'm going to take her knee down. Okay, I'm going to click OK. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to go in with a small little stamp tool, and we are going to just fix that little bit there. Okay, and then we're going to go up here, and we're going to do the same thing here. Just going to follow that line back, and then I'm going to just bring this out a little bit. There. It looks a lot better. So we're just going to flatten it. And then, let's see here. I think what I want to do is Control J. I always do everything on a separate layer. I'm going to go into selective color, go into the yellows. I kind of want this like a soft ethereal look, so I'm going to bring that up to about 65. And then I'm going to go into hue saturation. And this is on a separate layer and it's already got a mask. So I'm going to go into the yellows. And I'm basically just kind of looking at the hair. I'm going to take some of that yellow out. Okay, actually that's works good, I think, for everything. Okay. I just want to make sure that the yellow didn't go out of my moth. Okay, so I'm going to, with the black brush at 100%, I'm just going to go in here, make sure I have color in that moth, because I want that moth to stand out. These moths are just amazing. So cool. All right. What I think I'm going to do is I'm going to flatten it. And then I'm going to Command J, and I'm going to go into liquify one more time. And Control X. And then I'm going to go in and just make her waist smaller. All right. I kind of want her back a little bit hunched. This I think I'll bring out. I think I'll bring this down, her knee down, so it's like that. These ruffles here kind of bother me, but I'm going to leave them for now. And so now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to do some dodge and burn. I'm going to flatten that. And I have a dodge and burn action that I built. And I like to do my dodge and burn on a black and white layer, or I have like a black and white layer on top of my dodge and burn. What I have is a 50% gray, so all I have to do is paint with white or black. So paint with black to burn it and white to dodge, and I don't have to like go between layers or anything. I just hit the X button. And so I want my brush at 10%, so I hit the 1, I'm up at 10%, and I'm going to start with the burn. And so just make sure I got a soft brush here. Okay, soft brush. And then I'm just gonna kind of hit some of the areas that are already dark. Now I don't use a tablet because I'm a lefty, and that's not an excuse, but I have tried so many times to use a tablet, but I work with my I'm actually going to do this quick. I'm going to select my subject. I use my shortcuts so much with my left hand. It's like my left hand is constantly moving, doing shortcuts. And so I found that using, and I'm going to clip this, sorry, I'm going to clip the black and white layer into her. So that way I can go on the edges and it's not getting into the background. So I can, oops. It's just, it was so cumbersome I couldn't, and I just couldn't give up my shortcuts. So, and I haven't found any really solution. So she's actually got pretty good modeling just from the natural light. This was window light, natural light. I'm just going to darken that hand a little bit. And I had a constant light on the ceiling, bouncing off the ceiling, giving a soft. Okay, I'm going to hit the X. So I'm just going to put like a kind of give her like a white sheen. Oops, what did I do? Hit the B. Yeah, I had the constant light bouncing off the ceiling, giving a soft illuminating light to mimic. It was just kind of highlighting. I'm going to hit X because I feel like her cheek is a little bit too harsh. Where was I? I'm sorry, I distracted myself. Oh yeah, it was just complementing the natural light, but I found the natural light needed a little bit of help. So I'm just trying to even this out. I still want her cheek brighter. I just didn't want it too bright. I think that's good. Let's get a little bit of white on X. All right. Let's do a little bit in her hair. So I'm on burn. Let's just get some of the, it just gives so much depth when you do dodge and burn. And that's sort of what transforms just a basic image into something really fine art. Now I'm going to dodge. And it just gives so much more depth. So, and I'm going to toggle this on and off, and you can see that it did kind of help out a little bit. So I'm going to turn the black and white layer off, and now we'll And if you feel you've gone over, I'm just going to delete that black and white layer. If you feel you've gone overboard anywhere, you can always just mask it out. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a mask on there. And with a black brush at like 20%, I want it really soft. I'm going to bring back a little bit of that cheek shine. Flatten that. And then I think what I want to do is I just want to give it a little kiss of detail. So I do have an action, I don't know if it's going to look good, it's called Nitty Gritty. And it's just going to pull out the details. Let it run still. Okay, I really like that. So basically what it did is it pulled out some of the details, really subtle, but I kind of really like that. A lot. So as far as I'm concerned, for now that's done. I'm probably gonna play with it a little bit more, but there you go. Hope you enjoyed that. If you want to see more editing videos, just give me a like and a follow, and hope to see you at another one soon.